Today we're talking about how to succeed when you're scared to start a business. Starting a business is really scary. Just ask anyone who's already started one. That fear doesn't go away. So if you are afraid to start your business, you are not alone. You feel like every other entrepreneur has before you. So that should be reassuring. My name is Serena Alfaro. I'm the founder and designer of Nueva Luxe Jewelry brand, which I founded at the beginning of 2020. And in January of 2022, I quit my full-time six-figure job to focus on my jewelry business full-time. In the meantime, I decided to resurrect my YouTube channel so I could share tips and tricks about entrepreneurship and personal finance with you. Make sure you hit subscribe. I'll wait. Because I post new videos every week, and I'm sure you'll find some of them helpful to you. How to succeed when you're scared to start a business. So, number one, you're not alone. Starting a business is scary, and it's natural to feel afraid, anxious, terrified, petrified even. I've talked a lot of my friends through launching new products or starting their businesses for the first time. And the only reason I was able to talk them through that is because I know exactly how that feels. I remember before I published my website for Nueva Luxe and made it available for the whole world to see, I just got so sweaty. I am a pretty sweaty person, but it was not hot. I was just so nervous and thinking, oh my gosh, there's going to be a typo on the website. People are going to think everything I made is the ugliest jewelry they've ever seen in their life. The fears I had were not even real. I invented them all in my head. And you know what? If someone looks at your business's website and thinks this is the worst idea ever, that's not your ideal customer. So don't fret. But please be advised that everyone that started a business have felt that same terror. So you're not alone. And I'm giving you a virtual hug. You can do it. The next thing that's going to help you succeed when you're really scared to start your business is planning. And by planning, I don't mean thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking for months and years before you do something. By planning, I mean getting out a notepad, actually writing down plans, deadlines, things that you need to do. You can also type it, but something about being tangible helps me. You're going to start jotting down ideas, research, everything that's tied into the business that you're planning on building. But I must advise you, give yourself a deadline. I know it's scary to think you could possibly make a mistake, but I have a secret to tell you. That's going to happen. But you not taking action is not going to prevent any mistakes from happening in your business. And I know that sounds super negative, like, why am I telling you you're going to make a mistake? Well, you're a human, so that's inevitable. You're not going to outthink every possible outcome that can happen from your business, but please put pen to paper, put fingers to keyboards, and give yourself a deadline and pump out a ton of research in a specific period of time. And after that, go to the next step in planning your business. I can guarantee you that once you have a framework or a plan in place, it's a lot easier to know what to do next versus just turning your wheels endlessly and endlessly, because thinking and doing are totally different things. Although sometimes thinking feels like it's very hard work, it's not the same as actually executing. So don't overthink, but use your brain. I think that makes sense, right? Another way to succeed when you're planning to start your business is actually planning. So I said this before in your research phase, but you're going to give yourself deadlines, goals, milestones, things to hit before you actually get your business off the ground. Say, for instance, I have the greatest idea I've ever had today. It's halfway through the year. What's the deadline I'm going to give myself to get this puppy out into the world? Maybe it's 60 days, maybe it's 90 days, maybe it's 5 months, depending on how complex whatever my idea is. But if I just think about it for that whole time, I'm nowhere closer to getting my product out into the world. So it's really important to research, plan, and execute, okay? I know. You can still think, but please do. And planning will help you get there, because if you give yourself deadlines, you can time block your time and be really intentional with how you're spending your time to get your business off the ground. The next thing you can do when you're scared to start your business is get help from somebody who's a few steps ahead of you. So for instance, if I'm starting a new endeavor, I'm probably not going to try to get in touch with Tony Robbins or Marie Forleo. Those people are way ahead of me in business. I'm probably going to talk to someone that's been in business for 3 to 5 years, because they're not so far removed from where I am that they can't give me advice that I can actually apply to what I'm working on day to day. So don't be afraid to ask for help. I've helped people in the DMs of my jewelry business on Facebook and Instagram. You might be like, what do you mean you've helped them? People have said, I wanted to start a jewelry business. How did you start? And I will literally give them the information for how I started. Why? Because I don't believe in gatekeeping. Some people do, but nobody is going to have the same business that you have. But a lot of people have been through those same struggles and hurdles that you're going through as you start a business. So reach out to someone that's not light years ahead of you and ask them to be your mentor. Ask them if they can provide any advice, or say, hey, I'm stuck on this step. How would you proceed? A lot of people are pretty willing to help if you give them the opportunity to. Don't expect them to do your work for you, but if you can get some help from someone that's just a couple years ahead of you in business, this can be super powerful. I have a lot of people I can thank that I've met through Facebook groups that have really helped me, especially in my jewelry business. So don't be afraid to ask for help. And if people say no, ask someone else. You move on. The next thing to think about, which is easier to think about than to actually do, is to not give up too easily. So in entrepreneurship, pivoting is just part of running a business. You have to remain flexible or your business is not going to succeed. Don't just automatically give up if you encounter a roadblock or something doesn't go the way that you expected it to. The more times you encounter these roadblocks, the easier they become, but don't let everything you've planned for and built totally fall apart because one thing didn't go the way that you planned it to go. And of course, this is easier said than done. I remember when I had my first return of jewelry, I was like, should I even be making jewelry? After I've had hundreds and hundreds of customers, one person returning it made me think for a second, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Bananas. Obviously, I'm still making jewelry. Look at all this stuff back here. But don't let one little inconvenience or roadblock totally derail everything that you've worked so hard to do thus far. You have to have tenacity, okay? And it will come as you encounter more roadblocks. Don't feel like you have to be the perfect person before you start your business. Having a business actually helps develop your character and pushes you in ways you never thought possible before, but it's also a million times more rewarding than any roadblock can ever be. It's normal for ebbs and flows in business. Things go up and down. Every business encounters these type of setbacks, but don't let it totally ruin you, okay? The next thing that you have to remember to do when you're scared of starting your business is to celebrate your successes. These can be making your first $20, making your first $1,000, getting your first 100 followers on Instagram or TikTok. These sound like really silly, small, and stupid things when I say them, but these are really big steps, especially if you're a first-time entrepreneur, and you have to be able to pat yourself on the back. Go me, because sometimes no one else is going to be doing that for you, okay? Hopefully, if you're seeing this, you have someone really supportive in your corner, whether a friend, a family member, or a spouse or partner. But if you don't, you have to be your own best friend in these times. I got my first 10 subscribers on YouTube, on Twitter. People that follow me have massive followings, and I didn't care because I have to celebrate these small wins, because eventually I'll be able to look back and think, wow, I was so excited about my first 10 subscribers on YouTube, or I was so excited about my first 100 followers on TikTok, and now I have thousands. Whatever it might be, like, you have to be your own cheerleader and practice congratulating yourself early on in your business. Whether it's like, hey, I booked my first beta client, or hey, someone said they want to buy what I'm selling and I don't even have my sales page up. These are wins. Maybe they're not life-altering or life-changing wins, but you have to be celebrating those small W's. If you're not sure if you should celebrate it, DM me. I'm going to send you some applause, because it's hard to be your own best friend and celebrate every single W you have in your business, but start small and celebrate those small wins, because they do add up over time, and you have to be willing to cheer for yourself. I'm cheering for you too, okay? Last but not least, this one, I need a drink for this one. I know this is the wrong glass for Vino Blanco, okay? Don't correct me. This one I feel like a hypocrite bringing up, because I struggle with this too, but I am getting better day by day, week by week, month by month, and that is staying positive. And that doesn't mean just think good, happy thoughts all the time, like I'm dreaming of all the money that's rolling in from my business. No, it's reframing the things that happen to you in your business as learning experiences and being able to get something from them. I'll give you an example of my own business. In my business, I've done a lot of pop-ups because I sell jewelry. So I set up my little canopy thing, set up my table, set up my jewelry. One time I broke my canopy because I was setting up a canopy for 2 people with only myself. That was a lesson. But I've gone to pop-ups where I've sold thousands, and I've also gone to pop-ups where I've sold nothing. And that can be pretty discouraging. But if I look at it as something else, like this is a way for people to learn about my brand. This is a way for me to meet other small businesses in my community. This is a way for me to connect to other entrepreneurs that can maybe lead me to other opportunities in the future. You have to reframe it that way, or else if things don't go the way you expected them to, you're going to be crying yourself to sleep. So you have to be able to creatively reframe setbacks so you can learn from them and not take them to heart as if you're a failure, you shouldn't be doing this, you're so dumb and you shouldn't have started a business. Don't ever think those things. Starting a business has been so rewarding to me because it's opened up so many new avenues for me to make money than I ever thought possible. And it's not just for my jewelry. I've been able to start this YouTube channel. I've been able to partner with a ton of brands to do content for them or give them content ideas that they can use for their own brands. Like, this would have never been available to me. I would have never had these opportunities if I hadn't started Nueva Lux. Starting your business for me really boosted my confidence and helped with my self-esteem and like, hey, I can do hard things and I can do things for the first time and I can actually be pretty good at them with some practice, okay? And it's the same for you. You're going to get better at everything in your business as you continue to operate your business. If you found this video helpful, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to check out serenaalfaro.com/newsletter to sign up for my free game newsletter where I send tips and tricks about entrepreneurship every week. Thanks for watching. Come back next week. Bye. Cheers. It's a Friday right now, so I got a little drink.